Hey guys, what is up? So I posted a Q&A video on the channel the other day and solicited some questions from people that might wanted to ask anything. And I got a whole bunch of questions, so I'm going to answer those now. This is the A part. So I'll go through them one by one. First one was Fel YPZ. Dude, I've seen your comments on the channel a few times. Thanks for participating. But you said, do you have any tips, experience, anecdotes about advertising? Yes, I do. Um, don't spend money on radio, television, and print, especially if you're a new business. This is an area that large businesses, I'm talking Coca-Cola and beer companies, will spend money on successfully. Small business, it's a colossal waste. Do not do it. It does not work. I've probably spent upwards of $50,000 testing it and gotten no business off it whatsoever. So stay off those channels. Instead, focus on highly targeted areas. I like Facebook personally. If you have an email list, you can upload it to Facebook and you can market to it as an audience. So if somebody logs in with that specific email into Facebook, they'll see your offer. You can get very targeted with age, demographics, likes, things like that. So I love that for very highly targeted advertising. If you don't have an email list, build one. Definitely build an email list. There's tons of great videos on the internet that'll show you how to do it, so look that up. It's pretty straightforward. Pay-per-click still works to some degree on like Yahoo, Bing, Google, although it is fairly expensive depending on what niche you're in. But my advice, Fel, is stay away from the big, expensive, crazy stuff and go highly targeted. Savoni, I don't know what this question means, dude, but you're saying if you found me permanent, one, it goes, if you found me permanently shrunk to the size of a bug, what would you do? Nothing. What would your, unless I knew you, then I'd obviously try to help you. What would your perspective of me be and vice versa? I don't know what your perspective of me would be, but I could just say you're a small little bug. I don't know if there's anything I could do to help with something like that. What if the person you found was somebody you disliked? Good question. I don't like to harbor much in the way of resentment towards people that I dislike. I just kind of let it go. So I'd probably do nothing. If the little guy was sick or injured and there was no way to help him survive, would you just end it by squashing him? I don't know. You want me to? Sure, I'll squash you. Okay. Buddy's insight. All right, dude. Thanks for the question. I see a lot of your comments. I appreciate them. So you asked over here, where do you want to be in 5 years' time with the business and YouTube? So my company, the Debt Relief Company, I don't spend too much time on it, maybe a few days a week. I've pulled out of the company for the most part and work remotely from home. My management team takes care of pretty much everything that's day to day, and I don't want to spend any more time on it. So that thing's sort of taking care of itself. I do have a few other small businesses that are in investments and lending and things like that, and I'm working on different ways to try to promote and build those. It's a very, very early stage though. And you also ask about YouTube. So YouTube has a very bad revenue model, if you don't already know, but the ad revenue you get off your channel is peanuts. So there's really nothing in it aside from building an audience, building a subscriber list, and maybe at a later date offering them something. You see it on some channels where they'll sell t-shirts or trinkets or some other shit. I'm not really into t-shirts and selling trinkets. Because it's entrepreneurs and cars, I think my ultimate vision for it, if I were to do anything with it, would be to basically put together some sort of retreats for petrol heads. So high level stuff for entrepreneurs that are successful to get together into masterminds and learning events for maybe 3 to 4 days, and tie in a car event. Like I mentioned in the past that I had gone to Cabo San Lucas and done a off-road journey through Mexico for about 500 or 600 kilometers with a bunch of other entrepreneurs. It's not cheap, it costs 15 grand, but it was a lot of fun, a lot of great connections, and came out of it with a great big smile. So I was thinking about doing something like that. There's a few other car tour companies, ice racing and rally course driving and things like that. But these are high level things. So these would be for the people that are already at the highest stage of their entrepreneurial journey. I'll continue to do videos with the tips that I have, or the things that I've learned along the way, things that I learned from other people, personal experience, self-care, relationship with, men, women, whatever, relationship building. So I'll keep doing videos on those sorts of things. I find it's a good place to practice public speaking skills, communication, and telling a story. So there's some benefit to me as well. It also lets me offload things that I've learned and reflect on them. So, and one last crazy question. Buddy says, okay, about the Gold Rush program in Canada that's a massive hit over here in the UK. I never heard of the Gold Rush program. I'm not sure what that is. So it's the forests and landscape that they keep digging up. What do they put back and do they plant new trees? I guess you're talking about resources. So Canada has like a shitload of natural resources, minerals, forestry. We've got everything here. I mean, we've got so much undeveloped land, it's ridiculous. If you've ever flown over Canada at 30,000 feet and looked out the window, you can basically look at nothing for hours before you see civilization, depending on what part of the country you're flying over. But yeah, whenever forests are cut down, they do plant new trees. So when I was 16, I worked for the Ministry of Natural Resources and we planted trees. So whenever they harvest a forest, they almost always replant new trees because it's a renewable resource. What do I think about it? I think I just told you. You live in such a beautiful part of the world. Great video, Richard. It's harder to get these videos than I imagine it would be. The second I press record, I totally clam up. Okay, well, I kind of, yeah, any advice on that? So I kind of talked about that. Just practice, man. You know, when I first started doing these videos, I did them for my business channel, and I was answering questions that people were asking. So a good thing to do is if you have a company, you should have a YouTube channel, and whatever your frequently asked questions are, organize them in the top 10. Optimize them for keyword research so that they'll show up on searches. You can use that by the keyword tool for YouTube and for Google. And then record the videos and tell the story. And you're going to suck. You know, yeah, you're going to clam up. I remember for the first 6 months I was shooting videos. Probably, it could take me an hour to shoot a 3-minute video. So it just takes practice. Keep doing it. Keep committed to it, and you'll get there. It's just a matter of practicing, buddy. Got another one here from Evan, and he goes, give me your honest answer. What height do you think is considered short for a guy? Dude, I don't know. I mean, what's short for a guy? I can tell you what women think is short for a guy. I see it on dating sites because I'm single now, and they say, you know, some women will say, don't even bother contacting me if you're less than 6 feet tall. So from a mating perspective, if a woman's looking to reproduce with somebody, they want the best genes possible, or what they perceive to be the best genes possible, so they tend to look for taller guys. It's a fact of life. You can't get past it. It is what it is. Not to say that there's not a lot of women that love shorter guys, but that's what I've seen online, if you're asking me for my opinion, like borderline height. And you go, what advice can you give to shorter guys dating-wise? First of all, don't lie about your height. I've got female friends that will tell me on a routine basis that guys lie about height on dating sites, and women, well, from my experience, women tend to lie about their looks and their age, but guys lie about their height. So if you're 5'5", tell them you're 5'5". Don't lie and say, well, you know, you're 5'7" in shoes because you got pumps or lifts or whatever you call them. Just be honest about it. Now, just touching on that, there's tons of beautiful, stunning women that are very petite, 5'1", 5'2". I can't date them. They're way too small. Like, they're down here on me, and like, it just looks weird. Like, it just wouldn't make any sense. Like, I'd hurt them. So there's tons of beautiful women out there that would fit a shorter guy. I've got a couple of friends that aren't that tall that do just fine. It all really boils down to personality and what else you have to offer beyond just height. Yeah, it's important to some people, but who cares? I mean, if they draw the line in the sand and say they're not willing to date somebody less than 6 feet tall, so what? I don't have hair. I shave my head. That's fine. There's plenty of handsome guys out there like The Rock, you know, Chris or Jason Statham, Vin Diesel. Women find that attractive, so that's what I am. You know, you just have to own it. If you're short, own it. I'm tall and bald, so I own that. That's what I got to rock with. I feel I need to work out, but I'm intimidated as 1, I'm short, and 2, I'm skinny. Well, it doesn't matter how tall you are. If you go to the gym, go to the gym. You pick up heavy stuff and put it down. It's as simple as that. There's nothing to feel intimidated by. Nobody's going to do anything to you. You're there to exercise and to improve your level of self-care. So when I started to work out, I was really skinny. I was like this. And probably about 13, 14 years old. And I started out with push-ups. That's all I did, push-ups. And my goal was to get up to 200 push-ups. So at first I could barely do 10. Then eventually I would get into sets. Like I'd do 20, rest, 20, rest, 20, rest. And I would keep doing it until I could get to 200. So I started with that. I got my first gym membership when I was probably about 17 or 18 or 19, in and around there. And I did the wrong thing. So from experience, I can say stop doing the wrong thing in the gym. You'll see younger guys do this all the time. When I go to my gym, they're doing bench press and curls, and that's it. Because they think that, the big chest and the big arms is all that women want, but it's not true. Women look for a more balanced and proportioned body. The worst thing you can do is just focus on one area time and time again, over and over again, and you end up with skinny legs or no back or anything like that. What I'd encourage you to do for tips there on that self-care bit is you're going to want to do a lot of full range motion exercises. So squats, deadlifts, good morning rows, bent over rows for your back, pull downs for your back. You can do leg lifts for your abdominal area to like tighten it and give yourself like a nice V kind of appearance. Women love that nice V look. Bench pressing, of course, for your chest, shoulder pressing. So isolation movements like, curling on the curling machine, stay away from that. Go for the full body range of motion things. Those ones usually work the best. Don't worry about being short and skinny. Just go and do it and eat well and rest. It's really three things. Pick up heavy shit and put it down. Eat good food. Eat good quality food. Real stuff, like not stuff that comes out of a packaging or frozen meals. Meats like red meat, chicken, fish, rice and pastas and things like that, and vegetables, of course. Stay away from breads and refined grains. They don't usually do you much good. But eat good quality food and eat often. Use protein supplements if you have to. Creatine and glutamine are really good as well. Next question. Okay. Okay, this guy Chris is asking about the new M2 if I would get it. I don't know. I haven't driven it yet. I drove the new M3, M4, and I loved it, except for the sound coming out of the speakers. It's probably a really good candidate for my next car. I'm going to keep driving the M3 cab through the winter. I just put snows on it. And probably in the spring I'll decide what I'll do from there. Car's only got 78,000 kilometers. It's still pretty much a baby. But what cars do I like? I like the M3, M4. I'd consider the M2 if I could test drive it. And I also like the Boxster S, the newest body style. It's a little bit bigger than the older ones. It's got a tiny bit more power. But it's such a light car, and it's a two-seater, and I don't really need 4 seats. So I really love that one from that perspective. So I'm going to consider that as well when I do the test drives. Alex, dating, another dating question. I guess you guys know that I'm single, so you're asking dating questions. Okay. I've been in bars and clubs, nightclubs. Okay. I don't like bars and nightclubs for meeting women. Personally, I suck at it. I don't think it's a great environment. It's loud, it's noisy, people are drunk, they act like assholes. You can do it. There's a great book that Neil Strauss wrote called The Game. If you haven't read it, grab it. If you're more of like, I want to go to bars and stuff, it's kind of based on the pickup artistry community, and it works, but not my style. What I like to do, like I'm 42, so I like to use the online dating sites. I stay away from like app-based stuff where you swipe left or right, like Tinder, because it's so shallow and it's such a noisy place. Personally, I prefer like dating sites where you can build a good profile with a written story, and I'll tell you why in a second. A really good friend of mine, pretty girl, she's probably like a 7 or 8 out of 10. She's telling me she sets up her dating profile, and within about 2 weeks she had over 300 messages come in. I was shocked. Nothing stellar, like 3 regular pictures, nothing promiscuous or super sexy, and not a long-winded profile either, but bombarded. I was shocked. I was shocked, and from that point, like, I understood that you got to do something different. Like, when everybody else zigs, you got to zag. Okay, this goes for life, for business, and even for the dating stuff. So I read a book a while ago called Inbound Marketing, and I can't remember who the author is. You'll find it on Amazon. It's just called Inbound Marketing, and the concept was basically put pieces of content out there that are targeted to who and what you're looking for, let them find it and come to you as a qualified lead. So rather than messaging women all the time, which is what most guys will do, this is a little secret that I probably shouldn't tell you guys on this video because it's going to get out. Anyway, I'll share it with you. If you can write really well, it's really effective. I've attracted some phenomenal women on dating sites that are stunningly beautiful, well put together, and basically have their life sorted out. And it leaves you spoiled for choice. So first things first, you need some great photographs. If you're younger and you don't really understand what women want, there's a great book by a guy by the name of Tucker Max called Mate, and I think the subtitle is Become the Man That Women Want. And it's kind of basic shit. Like if you're a little bit older, you probably understand, like dress well, have nice shoes, be well groomed, things like that. And of course, being established and having money and being successful and being able to think and communicate is very effective as well. But if you're at an earlier stage in your life and you're confused, grab that book, read it. If you can write well, you're set. Okay. I've written 2 books that are on Amazon. I've done a lot of blogging for my website. I do a lot of personal writing almost on a daily basis just to practice that muscle. It's, like I say, it's a muscle, but it's really part of your mind and how you communicate and storytell. And what I do is I write a really long profile, being very specific about what I want. So if you're looking for a one-night stand or something short-term, be clear about that. If you're looking for a girlfriend, be clear about that. If you're looking for whatever comes after that, be clear about that. I'm very specific about what I'm looking for. I'm communicative about the type of individual that I'm asking for. And what I've found is that the really high caliber, the really high class women, they're not sitting there on public profiles. Their profiles are hidden, and they tend to go looking for guys. So when they find something that they like, then they'll reach out and message. They don't message people that don't have anything written in their profile. They don't message people that say dumb shit in their profile. They don't want anything to do with anybody that's got like just retarded pictures of themselves doing idiotic things, like childish things. You're putting your best foot forward. So tell that story about who you are and what you're looking for. I'll tell you what, here, I'll just tell you what the username is of mine so you can go and read it and get an example. If you go to Plenty of Fish, the username is RichardToronto73. And you can read that there and you'll see exactly what it is that resonates and works well. And I've had that up and I get messages daily, like more than 3 or 4 sometimes, which isn't a lot compared to what women get, but to get 3 or 4 in your inbox by doing nothing is pretty powerful. Half will come from women that I'm not interested in, that haven't read the profile, so they're older and they're kind of like, they're not even in my league. And then the other half come from that really high caliber, beautiful, established, intelligent woman that I'm looking for. So yeah, I hope that helps. That's all the questions I got on this round. Let me know what you guys thought of the Q&A session. If you want me to do another one in the future, I'm happy to do it. I hope you guys got some value out of it, and give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and throw a comment below. Let me know what you think. Thanks, guys. Peace.